Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Another episode of Trash Talk. I'm TJ O'Connor. With me, as always, Damian the Wolverine Hill. Trash Talk is joined today by CJ motherfucking Hayes. But first, Trash Talk is brought to you by our sponsors, Valhalla Combat Sports Incorporated, Ink Shrinks Tattoo, Origin Wellness CBD, Spartan Martial Arts, The Striking Institute, James Clark Sports Psychology and Hypnosis Therapy, The Fighters, and my mom. CJ Hayes, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. Just trying to stay busy in the apocalypse, you know. I like the what you called it earlier, a little Corona catch up. So
Yeah,
but I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
doing good, man. I mean, I'm glad to see that you're in good spirits right now. I know that you had just recently shared some pretty sad news on Facebook, and I seen a lot of fighters actually reaching out to you and sharing their condolences and everything. And then, and I was actually reached out, and man, I'm sorry to hear that your grandpa had actually passed, but you had sent me a video of a combination that he had. What tournament did he win? Okay, I'm gonna have you answer that question, and then I'm gonna have you give the backstory on who your grandpa was.
Well, that tournament was Armed Forces tournament, so it's like Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force. They have a boxing tournament and stuff. So he won it. He won it 1 year, and then the next year he lost in the finals, and then the very next year he faced the same exact guy in the finals again and beat him. Because he worked on some more stuff. He was mostly just kind of a stick and move jab, orthodox fighter. He really loved his jab and pumped that out all the time. So, which was his biggest critique on all of my fights is that I don't jab enough. And my coach would probably agree with him. But no, he worked on switching mid combo, and back then a lot of boxers weren't like evolved enough to like ever be used to something like that. So him continuously the pressure forward and doing that little backdrop step on the hook and everything, that like when he switches back to orthodox, that little back step on the hook is just kind of anticipating that guy's going to get backed into a rope or a corner, and he's going to try to fire off something right away. So you hit that backdrop step as you hit him with the hook, and then another cross right up the middle, and that dropped the guy for the final time in the fight. And the ref called the fight TKO, and so he won his belt back. And I don't think he boxed after that. He has Golden Gloves before that, and stuff like that. But he little backstory of him, he was he became the head of the union for the United Steelworkers of America union. So he has actually pioneered a lot of different policies that are used in most workforces now.
Oh, wow.
Like the drug test policy, where they if they're like operating and stuff like that. A lot of labor work and stuff. You can find some heavy drug use here and there. And if somebody came to work intoxicated, and then they gave them a drug test off of suspicion, they wouldn't get fired if they pissed hot. They would get, first time was a warning, just reprimanded. Second time, they were sent to rehab, fully paid by the company or by the union. And then the third time they came back, you're done.
Yeah. Okay. So your grandpa set that up?
Yeah, and that's what a lot of places use now. He was the one that engineered that. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you've seen my post recently about like because of the whole coronavirus situation, and like you mentioned that they'll send you to rehab and try to get you help with everything before they just fire you. I believe that that's pretty great, especially since I don't know. My family has dealt with addiction in multiple forms for years and years, and I've grown up seeing it, and it's one of those things. Like I have a soft spot for it because, I mean, like I don't know. I don't care if it's their fault. It's not the people's fault that are suffering because their addiction.
Yeah.
their fault. Like let's get them their help so that everybody can be helped. I don't know. I salute
And he
him.
made a lot of changes like that, and he really made he really like helped out all the unions across America with these kind of like uh, really progressive policies and stuff like that. And the like 5 union men before them, because union men can be hated because they screw over their guys sometimes.
Yeah.
The previous 5 union men, I believe, out of them, 2 of them got beaten within an inch of their life, and 3 of them got killed. And then he was like, "Well, they like me, so hopefully I'll step in, I guess." And then that was just how it went, man. He took over after that.
He's like, I used to box for the army. I'm not
Yeah.
afraid of these guys.
He keeps and he kept everybody happy, because there's like back then there's a lot of involvement with the Italian mafia and stuff like that, and we're an Italian family, and
I
he
was
did
just point that
did a
out.
lot. He did a lot of favors. He didn't kill anybody, no. But he would go to their horse stables and stuff because they raised horses, and he would shovel the shit for them and stuff. He kept everybody happy, and he made sure that everything on all sides were kind of cooled down so they can all listen and negotiate. So he was a really interesting man. He was a really cool guy, very full of wisdom. Didn't drink. If he cussed, he meant it. But
Oh my! I love that. I've never heard that expression before. Okay. Sorry. Continue. I love.
he was just an all around. That was my hero, and it was a really hard time dealing with the passing and everything. But he had Alzheimer's, and he lived a very long time with Alzheimer's, thanks to like my mom and dad. They moved down there. My dad transferred Boys and Girls Club jobs to be the CEO down there, and they took care of him. My mom was his primary caregiver and gave us a lot more years, because usually with Alzheimer's it kind of just goes pretty quick, and then within 2 years they're dead. And he made it like between 6 to 8 more years because of her. So really thankful that my family was able to kind of do their part and step in. I stepped in where I could, and just gave us some extra time with him because he was just an awesome guy. And that combo I showed, that wasn't something he taught me when I was younger or anything like that. That was actually around Thanksgiving time last year. Towards the end, he showed me that combo still, and he critiqued me for like 30 minutes straight while I was doing it, and it was and I was sitting there, and I suck at southpaw. And I had already had a few to drink, and I kind of sneak drink around him because I don't want him, like, he wasn't like judgmental about it, but he didn't want you to drink.
Yeah.
So I'm having to pretend like I'm sober and have to switch in a southpaw mid combo. So I'm all what? Like,
tripping over your own feet.
Oh my God.
But
I was sober after that 30 minutes trying to do it. I was dripping sweat. Like, Jesus Christ.
wear a damn button up.
Did you ever get the chance to see any videos of his fights, or has he actually gotten to see you fight?
He never saw me fight in person. Actually, I was trying to work something out with LFA to get me a fight down in Branson, because they fight in Branson, and that was gonna because he couldn't travel anymore by the time I started fighting. But no, he saw my fight videos and everything like that. But he used to come to my college wrestling matches. I mean, one time they just surprised me. My grandparents and my sister, who lives in Colorado, none of them said anything to me, and they just showed up in Oklahoma for a wrestling meet, which was actually a really fun one, because it was a school that tried to recruit me really heavily down there in Oklahoma, and every time I wrestled them, their coach was just screaming because he wanted them to beat me so bad, and never lost to Baycombe, baby, because they're, first of all, they're not that good. But it was funny because right off the whistle, you got to see the chip on my shoulder, because right off the whistle, literally 2 seconds, boom, he took me down, like right off the whistle, and I was so mad that right away I reversed him, put him to his back, and then just, instead of pinning him, I just kept letting him up, taking him down, putting him to his back, letting him up, taking him down, putting him to his back, getting all these points. And right before I tech falled him, which is like a TKO in wrestling, when you're up by 15, they stop the match. I got right to I was winning by 13. So one more takedown. That time I hip tossed him to his back and got the pin. And
So you tech pinned him?
yeah, I just pinned him right with the tech fall right there. So it
Oh
was
my
actually
god! You know how embarrassing that shit is.
at his own school too.
See, it didn't happen to me at my own school, but it happened to me in state my ninth grade year, and yeah, I got tech pinned for like 16th place or some shit.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it was like ninth place, but still, it's like I got tech pinned. Like the point that he scored to tech me, he pinned me on too, and it's just you son of a bitch.
Well, I've been on both sides of that on that ass whooping too. I've tech falled people. I've gotten tech pinned. Actually, my junior year of high school at the state tournament, how it works is first match. If you lose, if your opponent wins his next match, you get to continue. It's very unforgiving. So if he loses that next match, you're out. No second chance.
Yeah.
Well, the guy I was wrestling, I was about to tech fall him. I was about to get my last takedown for the tech fall. I got really lazy on my knee tap, and he headlocked me in the middle of the mat with a minute and a half to go and pinned me. And then he got tech falled the next round by a guy I tech falled during the season. Oh, man, I was pissed.
Yep, because there's no bounce backs in that. And yeah. Oh my God. See,
That was the equivalent
beauty of
upset of Derek Lewis getting his ass kicked and then just hitting that one shot on Volkov. And, and that was his one shot. He stuck it.
Yeah. Well, okay, so getting a win like that and I mean tech pinning a guy. What was your grandpa saying to you after that match?
Oh, they were mat side. They were screaming the whole time. I actually didn't know that they were there until I got taken down, and I heard my sister. She's crazy, and she ran her mouth. She's like, "You better whoop his ass now!" And I like looked up, and I see my sister and my grandparents, and I was like, I punched them back because he couldn't control me that well. It was just one of those quick little got me. I punched the mat and I just flipped the reverse right there. I was like, all right, yep, family's here. Gotta whoop his ass now.
Yeah, you got to put that work in, and then especially to have him there. It was a great story you told. Sounds like a great guy.
Yeah.
I mean, just to get to learn that, obviously pick up a few things. I mean, the pugilism, that's genetic. Anybody that argues, I'm going to tell them it is. Love for fighting, it's in the blood. So seeing that and then having the chance to allow him to see your fights. I mean, what was his take on the most recent one? I mean, the 13-second overhand gorilla shot.
He was a really humble fighter when he fought. So he didn't like ever get like overzealous, like amped up after like a big win. He would just kind of raise up, and look at everybody kind of. So he said that my celebration was a little over the top. But, he doesn't know what a Y crew is, which is what I was starting to do at the end. Like we're like on my knees and stuff. And he's very Catholic, so he's like, "Well, I'm happy you said a prayer for him in there." I was like, "Yeah, I said a prayer."
Grandpa, you know I had to.
That is hilarious. Oh my God.
But no, towards the end there, when his memory was still getting fuzzy, it was easy for him to remember me because out of all the grandkids, I'm the only grandson.
Yeah.
But towards the end there, he was just like, he always made a comment because I never had a beard. I was always clean shaved, way up until like I was 24. Then I started growing the beard out, and he goes, "I just got a question for you. How the hell did you get so ugly?" And what is that shit on your face?
A lot of hard work.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. It's funny to hear the type of relationship that you guys had and like a little bit of the personality that you've exposed to me. And I've never met your grandpa, but just what you've exposed to me, it's like I'm so happy to see that you guys have that type of relationship, and I'm not surprised. I'm not.
You guys met my old man, but the more of my family you guys meet, the more everything about me makes sense. It's like, oh, he's actually one of the more sane ones in the family. That's really weird. So, but yeah, no, he was a great guy. Missed by countless people. That's why we're waiting until after all this shit to have a ceremony, because like we'll do a small one with the family, but I'm sure there's going to be hundreds of people wanting to come pay their respects and stuff like that. So
that was actually on my mind. It wasn't a question that I was going to ask, but now that you mentioned it, because I was saying like you were saying he was the head of the union. I mean, and put in in the act a lot of policies that are still being used today and are going to be continued to be used hopefully throughout the rest of the eternity. And I mean, a guy like that, you said that the previous guys that held his job were jumped or killed.
Yep.
And people liked him. I'm pretty sure they're all going to want to be there. How do you think that all of that plays out? And I mean, I don't know about dates and stuff like that, but like when you guys are finally able to have a ceremony, how many people do you think show up for your grandpa?
Oh man, it's I was thinking about the other day. I'm like, how the hell are we gonna feed 250 people, man? Like, like how the hell, man? Like, I don't think I'm gonna have to go like shoot like an elk or something, like to feed the whole squad, or cook a pig or something, man. But yeah, I'm not sure, but we haven't cremated, so it's in a nice little urn, so it'll be a nice ceremony. I don't know how many people we will allow. But,
yeah, because that was kind of where I was getting at too. I didn't phrase it that way though.
If it were up to me, I would let everybody pay their respects, but also I understand if we limit it, because there are hundreds of people that would want to show up at least at some point, and just say their piece and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was funny because he's always fought for workers' rights. Even afterwards, after retirement, they'd still call and consult with him, because they were like, well, what the fuck? What do we do? With unique issues and stuff like that. And my grandma's really religious. I'm not. You guys know that. I mean, that goes without saying. But I was saying to her, I'm like, he's probably up there in heaven unionizing angels and shit and getting them better worker rights. These guys are
There's always more money to be had.
Man, dude.
But she got a kick out of that. So, but yeah, we're all doing okay. The family's doing all right. I don't think it'll fully hit all of us until we can all be together, though. But I have my moments. I've had my good cries and stuff like that, and I've kind of honored his memory, told stories like I just told, and most all of his bar fight stories and stuff like that too, because he was just a wild one.
It's bar fight story time. Let's hear it. No, I'm just joking. You don't gotta do that on camera and everything. That's more of an off-camera conversation.
Oh no, it was a good one actually. He was just stumbling out of a bar with his buddies, and these guys tried to mug them, and they were like outnumbered. I think they had it was like 3 of them. There's like 5 guys jumping them.
Yeah.
They just beat the shit out of these guys, and like whenever they try to get up and run away, they just beat them up again. And then the cops finally showed up and like saved these guys trying to mug them, and they were gonna throw them in jail. And like the baddest dude out of my grandpa's group, like the cops were even scared of him because they've had to arrest him before, and he was like, no, they learned their lesson, and they're like, no, we gotta take them to jail. And my grandpa goes, hey, he said they learned their lesson. Do you want to argue with him? And they're like, yeah, nope. They learned. It looks like they learned their lesson. We'll just drop them off at the hospital.
Hey, these guys are fine. These guys are not going to mug anybody anytime soon.
Yeah. Rehabilitated.
Yeah. I always we call it persuasion by pain, PBP. That's what we call it in the family.
Oh man. So I guess now that everything, or now that it's not set in or is setting in, once you do get around all of the family and everything, do you feel like you guys are going to start sharing a whole bunch more stories, just like kind of like this, like you remember that one time? And because I feel like that's I want to say like death is a celebration of the life that they led. We celebrate our birthdays every year, and when we finally pass, that's the time to celebrate all of the years that we previously had. And dude, like you're celebrating it with us right now. Like this feels kind of good because like it's like the stories that you're sharing with us and the things that you're sharing about his personality. Man, it just makes me sad the fact that I'm not going to actually be able to meet him. But do you feel like you guys are just going to start reminiscing and just sharing all the beach
Absolutely.
stories?
Absolutely. I think there'll be some sad moments, but I think most of it's just going to be us just sharing stories and stuff like that. Like all the he was just such a goofy person too. Like my grandma one time when I finally was too strong to get my ass whipped by my mom, it didn't like affect me anymore because it didn't hurt. My mom, I said to her, because she smacked me upside my head, and I was like, Mom, you know you can't hurt me anymore. And right in front of my grandpa, she goes, well, I may not be able to beat you to death, but I can bitch you to death. Ask Papa. And he looks at me and he goes, I've been dying of it for over 50 years.
Oh my
Such a goofy
God.
guy. And he looked at me. He was dead serious. Like it looked like a lion that's caged, you know. And he was just like, he's like, it's the slowest form of death. And
You're a kid.
hey, if you owned a dog, he would like he'd be in a different room and he'd just cover up and he'd do this whoa, and it sounded like a hound dog and it'd make the dog just go nuts, man. He was just that kind of guy, man. He'd mess with people all the time.
Mess with people, mess with dogs.
My favorite is he had vitiligo, so he had like white spots all over him. And one time we're at a restaurant and this fuck, I shouldn't be saying this one, but it's good. This little there's a family that was eating next to us. They're a black family, and the little black kid comes over, and they weren't paying attention to him, so he comes over and he goes, "Why do you have all these spots?" And his parents were like immediately like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," and like stuff like that. And my grandpa, without skipping a beat, turns and looks at him. He's like, I don't know. I used to be black like you, but I never ate my vegetables. And then this is what happened. The kid's like, can I order broccoli? Like freaking out. It was the kid's like crying, and like his parents were like, oh my God. And I thought that I was like, Grandpa.
I would have, okay, if I was the kid's parents, I would have like, yeah, son, better eat your vegetables, and then snuck your dad like a 5 or a 20 under the table. Like, thank you.
They were dying when he said it. I was just sitting there like, Papa, oh my God. You just traumatized that child. He's like, still he has vegetables.
To this day, that kid eats his vegetables every single damn day.
We're waiting. That kid's going to be the baddest kid in MMA one day. He's going to be the healthiest ox.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. That'd be fucking crazy. And it'd all be because your dad scared this motherfucker into eating his vegetables, goddamn.
Yeah, man. My grandpa was a good guy, man. And he just was so goofy.
That's funny.
But yeah, man. I think I think we'll all be good. We'll be fine. And it was a good way to go. He went in his own house, and he was in a hospital bed, but like right next to his bed, he was surrounded by everybody. He was listening to his gospel, folk country stuff that he really liked. I don't even know what genre you could actually call it. It's like religious, but some of it banjo played and shit. Man,
dude. It's so glad to hear. I'm just so glad to hear that you're in good spirits about it and everything. And it's just like, man, the life that he led, like how I said it earlier, it's like you taking the time to celebrate his life with us makes me feel special. I really appreciate it. But before I guess we start to wrap up this video and everything, I guess the Corona situation is still going on, but I'd like to know what's next for you and what's going on through your head right now. Are you even thinking about a fight or things like that?
Not one thing in particular, but everything in general. Yeah, I'm talking about all the way to the top. Yeah. No, seriously, my when my grandpa passed, my best friend Josh, he texted me and he goes, he's like, I don't want you to he's like, you got to mourn, and I don't want you to lose sight of, he's like, I know that was your hero. I don't want you to lose sight of what your goals are. And now we got to hit them double time. When all this shit's done, I'm going to the top. It doesn't matter where the fuck I end up. Everybody that's in my way is just another stepping stone for me. I don't care how good they are, how bad they are. If they're like the baddest dude out of God knows what gym, I'm coming. And it doesn't matter if I land UFC, Bellator, one championship, or get on all the fucking gear and go to Ryzen, you know. But it doesn't matter anymore. It's just whoever they are, they're just next. And sitting here fat as fuck, but but I think everybody is. I've been still seeing everybody's Instagrams, and all these fighters are just doing what I'm doing, man, drinking beer and working out, here and there. And but nobody's dieting right now. And if you say you are, you're a fucking liar. And
Oh man.
but no, I'm ready to go. I'm just ready for what's next, and I'm gonna go to the top, regardless if they say okay, it's at 185, or they say hey, there's no weight classes, man. We devolved as a sport for a minute.
Oh.
And if it's no weight class, I ain't gonna be 200 and whatever. I'll probably be about 200 pounds, and because that's where I feel like I'm in my best shape, my pre-cut weight. So,
Yeah.
But I'm gonna show up ready to go, do my part, and hopefully we see some more overhand knockouts, man. I think I'm about to. I swear, me and Jess were talking about it. We're like on the way back from the fight, and she's like, "Damn, I'm a little disappointed." And I go, "Why?" And she goes, "We still haven't seen your wrestling. That whole camp, we planned on exhibiting the wrestling." And she's like, "We still haven't seen it." And I don't know. It might be like a blessing / curse. I don't think we'll ever see it, man. I think I'm just going to keep knocking people out.
It's not a bad plan.
That was way easier than wrestling.
I don't knock him out in 15 seconds all the time.
Yeah, like it's just every time.
Like,
This is the greatest sport ever.
It's like Happy Gilmore. He's like, wow, I just hit a hole in one every time. That was way easier than.
That's what I was saying. Dude. Oh my God, that's why we're all friends. Because all right, that's why me and TJ are friends, and TJ and CJ are friends because I'm not friends with TJ.
Seriously, I couldn't hate Damien more as a person.
But
the fact that we're able to connect with other people makes me despise him even more because I hate that we have similarities.
Yeah, but I guess before
we ask you guys something, and I guess anybody who jumps in the comments after watching this, need a little bit of hairdo advice, y'all. Here we go.
Oh, shit.
Elliptic hair is getting pretty gnarly, but I am also still balding. It's still going back. So at some point, we're going to be shaving our head, and keeping it shaved because it's balding, and I'm not going to be one of those guys that just can't let go. But this is my last chance to maybe be able to grow a mullet. And
do it.
Just do it. Man, I'm gonna look so dirty.
Get that one fight picture with the mullet. Oh my God, it'd be worth it for that one, dude. I'll go Uncle Reggie for a month.
Man, don't do Uncle Reggie for a month, bro.
Dude, I'll do it. You think I give a fuck, dude? I had sex with my haircut like that. Like she was okay with it.
You like for a sugar daddy.
No. What you know about the Golden Gloves? What you know about the Golden Gloves?
He was like, hand me that Trojan. My Golden Glove. All right. CJ, sponsors, teammates, anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Man. Well, first off, obviously Saints Coast Barber, y'all are going to fix whatever effed up haircut I have coming out of this thing. So I'm apologizing in advance, but I got extra tip money for y'all because I haven't stopped working. So, other than that, Abominable Grip, Abomination Athletics, everybody at the Cellar Gym, everybody in the sport of MMA or even in the community, just stay safe, hang in there, my Cellar family. We're gonna get through this shit. Thanks, Coach Chris, Coach Ben, and Coach Mauricio, and all the other coaching staff at the Cellar for all these online Zoom workouts and Zoom meetings and everything, trying our best to keep us shitheads in shape of some sort that's not just round.
Yeah.
Other than that, my family down south and in Colorado and everything, I miss you guys. I love you. Hopefully I can see you guys soon. And other than that, rest in peace, Papa. But thank you guys for having me on the show, and you guys kick ass, man. You guys are my favorites. So we're going to the top, and we're all going. I'm taking everybody with me. This isn't just a one man show. So
I love it. And before let's let Damien wrap us up, I got 3 quick things to say. First one, long live the champ. It was great talking about your grandpa here today, man. Number 2, on behalf of the entire state, you're welcome to Colorado at all points in time. And number 3, thank you for coming on, man. We ain't shit without the fighters.
Thanks, buddy.
Cheers.
Damien, you want to send us away properly, sir?
Yes, I do. And TJ, shut up. Thank you for joining us tonight, CJ. People watching this video, like this video, subscribe to Trash Talk with Damien and TJ. Follow CJ Hayes on Instagram at whatever his thing is. It'll pop up in bold and on the bottom right now. I'm not going to say it still because I still don't know it. But
Silverback.
yeah, you guys heard it. So I'm not going to put it on the video. But like this video, subscribe to Trash Talk with Damien and TJ. Don't be a hoe.
Don't be a hoe.
I'm still
Take it easy.